Donald Trump just dropped a $20 billion lawsuit on CBS News and its parent company, Paramount Global, an explosive move now being called the mother of all lawsuits. At the center of the storm is an episode of 60 Minutes featuring Kamala Harris, which Trump's legal team claims was deceptively edited to mislead the public and sway the 2024 presidential election. They're calling it election interference at the highest level. This isn't just another headline, it's a direct attack on one of America's biggest media institutions. Stay tuned, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe, because this story is just getting started. On December 7, 2024, Donald Trump filed what many are calling the most explosive media lawsuit in U.S. history. In a Texas federal court, Trump launched a staggering $20 billion lawsuit against CBS News and its parent company, Paramount Global. The accusation? Not libel, not slander, but something far more calculated. Something he calls election interference. The heart of this legal firestorm is a single interview aired on 60 Minutes, the long-running investigative news show on CBS. It featured then Vice President Kamala Harris during the heat of the 2024 election campaign. To millions of viewers, it looked like just another high-profile political interview. But according to Trump and his legal team, what aired was not the full story. They allege CBS intentionally edited the footage to portray Harris as competent, confident, and in control, while quietly trimming out moments that revealed hesitation, confusion, or political vulnerability. The lawsuit claims that the version of the interview shown to the American public was highly manipulated. Key context, pauses, and follow-up answers were allegedly removed or rearranged. Trump's legal team says this wasn't just bad journalism. It was a deliberate strategy to help Kamala Harris look stronger, smarter, and more presidential, just weeks before Americans went to the polls. Trump is arguing that this editing decision misled voters and played a direct role in shaping the outcome of the 2024 election. And for that, he wants $20 billion in damages. But this isn't just about money. Trump's team says they want accountability. They want CBS to admit they interfered in a presidential election by acting more like political operatives than journalists. The lawsuit points to specific timestamps and statements that were allegedly cut from the original interview footage, moments, they say, where Harris stumbled, contradicted herself, or failed to answer directly. Trump's camp argues that the edits distorted the truth, influencing how millions of viewers perceived Harris during a critical political window. CBS News has not publicly released the raw footage, and media watchdog groups are already demanding transparency. Trump's attorneys are pushing hard in court to obtain and publish the unedited version of the interview. If the raw footage tells a different story from what was aired, this could trigger one of the biggest media scandals in modern American history. So what really happened in that interview room? Did CBS cross the line from journalism into political manipulation? Or is Trump once again weaponizing the courts to fight the media he claims has always been against him? This lawsuit isn't just a legal move by Donald Trump. It's a nuclear strike aimed straight at the heart of American media, and it's already shaking the pillars of politics, journalism, and big business. What started as a single lawsuit is now snowballing into a high-stakes battle with billion-dollar consequences. Paramount Global, the parent company of CBS, is in the middle of a major corporate merger with Skydance Media, a deal worth over $5 billion. But here's the twist. Trump's lawsuit is now a ticking time bomb that could derail the entire merger. Senator Bernie Sanders has weighed in, urging Paramount not to back down. He's warning that if the company settles, it could set a dangerous precedent, where powerful political figures can sue media outlets for coverage they don't like. Sanders says this lawsuit puts press freedom at risk, and settling would open the floodgates for future political retaliation against journalists. But inside Paramount, it's full-blown panic. Insiders say executives are seriously considering a settlement, rumored to be as high as $75 million, just to make this lawsuit disappear. CBS employees are calling it a betrayal of journalism. To them, it's not just a legal case, it's a matter of integrity. Behind the scenes, Paramount fears the lawsuit could give regulators and shareholders second thoughts about the merger. If Trump wins or even drags this case out for months, the deal with Skydance might collapse entirely. And with Paramount already struggling financially, that could be a devastating blow. Legal experts say this case is unlike anything we've seen. Trump isn't just suing for defamation. He's accusing one of the most powerful media networks in the country of intentionally interfering in a federal election. If he proves it, the fallout could be historic, fines, firings, even federal investigations. Trump, on the other hand, is turning the lawsuit into a campaign weapon. He's telling supporters this is proof that the media rigged the election against him, and now he's fighting back, not just with words, but in court. This isn't just about one interview, one show, or one politician. It's about the future of journalism, the limits of media power, and whether billion-dollar news corporations can be held accountable, or whether they'll hide behind the First Amendment to protect their own agendas. And if this case gains traction, it might not stop with CBS. The fallout from Trump's bombshell lawsuit is already rippling across the nation. And it's not just the courtroom drama that's heating up. The Federal Communications Commission, FCC, has now stepped in, launching an official investigation into CBS for possible news distortion, a move that could change the way the network operates forever. CBS, for its part, insists that the edits were normal practice, just routine trimming to fit the segment's time constraints. They've defended their actions, saying it's nothing more than standard journalistic editing. But Trump's team isn't buying it. Trump's legal team is calling these edits deliberate manipulation, accusing CBS of selectively editing the interview to give Kamala Harris a polished, presidential image, while hiding the raw and unfiltered moments that could have exposed her weaknesses. And they're demanding accountability. Now, the case has moved from a corporate lawsuit to a national debate on the state of the media and its power to shape public perception. And that's where it gets even more dangerous. Trump isn't just fighting CBS, he's challenging the very foundation of how the media operates. If CBS loses or settles, it could have huge consequences for the industry as a whole. Journalists, politicians, and media figures are calling this a media war. Some argue that Trump is weaponizing lawsuits to silence his critics and punish the press for unfavorable coverage. They fear this could lead to a chilling effect, where journalists think twice before airing anything critical of powerful figures. Could this be the beginning of a media crackdown? Or is this the price Trump is willing to pay to fight back against what he sees as an increasingly biased press? But there are those who believe Trump is finally fighting back against a media machine that has spent years skewering him. They see this lawsuit as the ultimate showdown between elite media power and a political figure who refuses to be silenced. In their eyes, Trump is no longer playing by the old rules. He's rewriting them. Trump's supporters are rallying behind him, accusing the media of being manipulative and one-sided. They see this lawsuit as more than just legal action. It's a battle for truth. And whether you agree with Trump's politics or not, the question remains, should the media have the power to edit reality to fit its narrative? Or is that just part of the game? The stakes are higher than ever. The FCC investigation is only the beginning. If CBS is found guilty of deliberate distortion, the ripple effects could be felt across the entire media industry. Lawsuits like this could become more common, and political figures, journalists, and networks may never be able to trust each other again. And the real question: what happens next? The future of media. And the very foundation of how elections are covered could be forever altered by the outcome of this lawsuit. If Trump wins, or if Paramount chooses to settle, this won't just be a legal victory. It will be a seismic shift in the relationship between the media, politics, and the American public. If Trump's team can prove that CBS intentionally manipulated the interview to sway voters, it could open the floodgates for lawsuits against media outlets nationwide. News organizations could face legal action for anything they report or don't report during election cycles. What happens when politicians can sue over a story they don't like? Will news outlets become more cautious, more compliant, or even more biased to avoid lawsuits? The consequences would be massive. For one, it could completely redefine what freedom of the press means in this country. News outlets would have to rethink how they report on controversial figures and events. Editors could second-guess every headline, every segment, fearing they might be next in the crosshairs of a politician's legal attack. A chilling effect would hang over journalism. But that's not the only danger. If Trump wins this battle and returns to the White House in 2025, the stakes could be even higher. Imagine Trump back in power, wielding not just his political influence, but his legal might to reshape the media landscape. And remember that merger with Skydance Media? If Paramount doesn't settle quickly enough, Trump could use his influence to kill the deal with a stroke of a pen. If Trump's lawsuit leads to a loss for CBS, it might embolden other politicians to take the same route, especially those with enough power to hold the media's feet to the fire. Media companies could be forced to pick sides, play it safe, and risk facing lawsuits from those they cover, or take a stand and risk alienating powerful political figures. This could lead to a revolution in how news is covered, no longer based on facts and truth, but on fear of legal retribution. And in the long term, a victory for Trump here could embolden future leaders to push even further in using the legal system as a weapon against the press. The question is, where does it end? Will political leaders start using lawsuits to control the media narrative? And what happens when those in power begin determining what the public gets to know? This lawsuit is not just about Trump or CBS. It's a fight for control of information, of narratives, and of power. What happens next will echo through the corridors of government and media for years to come. And it won't just change how elections are covered, it will change who controls the truth. This isn't just legal, it's political, it's strategic, and for Trump, it's personal. The question now is, will the courts back him, or will this become a historic turning point for the media? Is this Trump protecting democracy or waging war on the free press? Is CBS guilty of deception or being punished for journalism? Let me know what you think in the comments. If you found this story as chilling as I did, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into true crime stories. And as always, stay safe, stay aware, and I'll see you in the next one.